Hi there, in this video we are going to be installing a Kali Linux VM machine on VMware Workstation Pro. So what you need to do first is just go to Google and search for VMware Workstation, right? And then you'll find Fusion and Workstation here. Click that. And so as a first time user, they want you to register before you can download anything from this page or from this website, right? So let's go to download now. And then instead of logging in, we're going to click here at the top right corner and click on register instead. So I'm going to put in my email address and then enter the text from the image. FKVI. Next. And then I need to go and get the verification code from my email. Copy this and paste it here. Then click enter, verify and complete. And then I'll just put in these, let me say other. I'll put in these details, and here I'll just use the password that Google has generated for me, because I don't think I'm gonna have to manually put it. It's gonna be saved for me. So and then I create this account. Then you can see here the password has been saved, right? So I'll do this later. Let's skip this. And then when you're here, you have to go back to the sign in page. Tab, and then put in the details that I just used for my registration. You can see the password is saved there. And then when you get here, you have to go to my downloads here on the left side of your laptop or computer. Go to my downloads there. And sometimes maybe you won't see this, it's gonna be like this, so you won't see it. You can just see this I think it's called an icon. Yeah, you can see that, and then it's gonna lead you here. And then here you can see it's written free software downloads available here. Click there. And then we need a VMware Workstation Pro. So if you scroll down, you can see it right there. VMware Workstation Pro. And then since we're using Windows, I'm gonna click the latest release for Windows, which is this one right here. This one also works too, but it's not the latest one, so we want the latest version. And then before I download here, so okay, it allowed me to download without reading the terms and conditions, but sometimes it's gonna have the the link for the terms and conditions right here, which you have to read, because it won't allow you sometimes to download without reading reading the terms and conditions that are gonna be here, because you have to read them and agree to them. But since it allowed us today, well, I guess it's our lucky day. So okay. Right. So now that we have this, you can just click here and then it's gonna install. Okay, so let's remove this. Let's remove these tabs and leave our computer clean. Just accept the terms and conditions. Next. So since I already have VMware Workstation Pro, mine is gonna say upgrade instead of install. But if you're a first time user, it's gonna say installed, right? It's not much different. So you can see here it's installing. So while it does that, let's look for how to get the Kali Linux ISO file, right? So what you need to do, you go back to Google and search download Kali Linux, and then you get here where it says get Kali, and then so we need to choose the everything image disk. So we choose this one. Okay, so our VMware Workstation Pro is finished. Now we are only left with getting the ISO file. So the ISO file is gonna come as a torrent file, right? So you need to go to Microsoft Store in order to get a torrent extractor software, I think. So what I use is what is called Torex, right? It's very fast. So you can see this app right here, right? If you download this, and then after if you download this and then upload your downloaded Kali Linux file, upload it to Torex Lite, and then it's gonna extract it for you, and then these here are the results. Let me show you the file after extracting it. So usually the file will be in a folder called Torex, then downloads or something like that. So this is now the file that we have, disk image file, right? It's a disk image file. We have it right here. So this is your file. And so what is the next step? So the next step is to open our VMware Workstation Pro that we just installed, right? Usually you will have a desktop icon. It's gonna have a shortcut on desktop. If you don't have it, you can just come and search for VMware. You can see it here. Open this. It opens easily. And then for a new machine, you go to file and then new virtual machine. Click next, and then you have to browse your, assume that maybe you were somewhere here, and then you'll have to click on Torex downloads, and then this is your file that you just extracted using Torex, right? So you click on this and then it's there, right? And then you click on next. What operating system do you want to use? Sorry, this. We want to create a Linux virtual machine, right? So click next, and then whatever you want here, and then yeah, you can assign the disk size as you see fit, and then leave everything as it is, and then just finish there. So we now have our virtual machine. This is our virtual machine. Obviously we have to set it up before we can actually start doing anything on it. So setting it up requires us to power it on. So you will here automatically when you start, it's gonna be on graphical install. So you have to click on there and then use the up and down arrows to select install instead, and then click enter, just like that. And then English, choose your language, English, and then the selected location will be used to set your time zone. You can set wherever you are. Then key map to use, we will have to use American English, and then it's gonna detect that and all of that. It's gonna do everything. Right, so here you have to enter your host name. Automatically it's Kali, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. And then domain name, skip that. And by the way, skipping, you just press enter if you wanna skip. Then full name, what can I put in here? Sosuke Aizen. Okay, I'm gonna use that username for your account, Sosuke. That's fine. Oh, I can just use Aizen instead. Aizen. And then password. Okay, my password. Okay, let me put in my password. Continue. Re-enter the password. Right. And then just press enter here, enter again, just press enter, and then use the left arrow to select yes and then press enter. So now it's just installing the software. So what we have here, we need to select a few things. So you use your up and down arrow and then you use the space bar to select, right? So we need to select select XFCE, right? Because if you don't select this, it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be just blank. And then skip gnome and skip KDE, and then leave everything as it is. But sometimes when you are more advanced, you need to select everything or select large, right? So these tools, even if you don't select them now, you can add them later. If you ever need them, you can add them manually later, but now let's leave it like that, and then use the tab button to select continue and then enter. Okay, so here you need to click yes, right, and then use the down arrow and click there, and then continue installing the grab bootloader. So the installation actually does take a lot of time because you have to install all these tools and system. You have to install all of these tools that are used in cybersecurity. So the installation is now complete. So we need to boot into our new system. So this time we let it boot automatically. Okay, now we have our system. We have our Kali Linux. We have to put in the username that I registered with, or that I used when installing, then put in my password. Just like that, we have our Kali Linux system. So there we have it. We can customize this as much as we want. You can go here and choose desktop settings, and then you can put your wallpaper as you want it, or if ever you want to use like an image that you downloaded from Google, you can change the folder here and then put in your image just like that. And then what else? So we have our terminal. The terminal is the most important thing in Kali Linux, I think. So we have our terminal right here. You can also change the color here at preferences, and then appearance, and then color scheme. What should I choose? I'm gonna choose green on black, right? Apply, okay, and then now you can see IP. You can see now it's all green and looks good. So yeah, that's it guys. That's how you install your Kali Linux VM on Workstation Pro.